Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light, while we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh.
Hi there, and welcome back to another episode of Kim Wilpon Crafts. I'm your girl, Kim Wilpon, and today is the third week of Vlogmas. We're doing holiday updates, gift updates, and all sorts of progress on things and such. And there's just lots of updates today. It's an update day. So grab yourself a nice, warm, cozy bevy, and let's get into it. So today, let's start with what I'm wearing. This is the Pixelated Cardigan by Knit Collage. The notebook is coming out. Okay. Okay, let's start with what we've accomplished. We have finished projects. Yes. Okay. I know you're excited. You're proud. Thank you in advance for being proud of me for getting things actually done. So let's start with the Alpine Bloom. Woo! Here she is. Zipper Ann. She is like a dream. I actually have already worn this out a whole bunch. I'll throw it on for you, even with my hair up like this today. Even with it up, like, I'm still gonna show you. God, I look like I'm Ashley Simpson or something. Pieces. I really love how this came out. It is really gorgeous. At first, I didn't know if I wanted to keep it, and then I was like, you're keeping it. Let's be real. This is the Alpine Bloom hat by Caitlin Hunter. So finished project number 1. This Alpine Bloom hat, which is on my list. Now, I didn't know what I was gonna make for my parents for the holidays on week 1, but by week 2, I had an epiphany of what I was going to do. I was going to make heat transfer vinyls. There are things that each of these people says, and put them onto sweatshirts for my family, so everyone's gonna get one. And I am obsessed with how they came out. So I'm gonna show you what. I'm not gonna show you all, because I will reveal that at Christmas, because it's too good. They're so funny, and yes, they are inside jokes to me and my family, but I just think that they are really funny. And the hardest ones to do, honestly, were for myself and for my brother-in-law, who I think we are both really funny, charismatic people. But like my mom, my dad, and my sister and my husband all have like catchphrases that they say all the time, and I don't know if I have catchphrases. I think I say a lot of things, and I think I just make jokes so often, it like holding on to a catchphrase here and there that gets repeated throughout time doesn't always happen for us. So, but I figured out a solution for both of us, because we say a lot of things that are funny. So I'm excited for mine and my brother-in-law's to be done, because they're going to be in a similar style. I'm very excited. I'm going to show you one. I'll show you my mom. Who doesn't love Bev? My mom is just like in this like really beautiful self-care era. And part of her self-care is that she is buying lots of yarn right now. And I obviously am here for that. But every time I get on the phone with my mom, she's like, Kim, I did it. I bought more yarn. And so I made her a sweatshirt that says, Oops, I bought more yarn. It's so funny. And they're all the same color. All the sweatshirts, same color, same font, same style. I just can't wait at the end of Christmas when everyone's done unwrapping their gifts and everyone just like puts on their sweatshirts. I can't wait to take a picture to show you all because it's gonna be so funny. It's gonna be so silly. I finally mended the knits I needed to mend, which are in this pile right here. You're probably like, what is that pile, Kim? The things I had to mend. So I tried mending this. This is a millie that I made a very, very long time ago. And I had found sort of this like wonkadonkly hole in the sleeve, and I tried mending it and I did not do a good job, but I did watch a video, which I'll link below, that tried to teach me how to mend, and I just didn't have the original yarn, so I used a yarn that I thought was similar, but it didn't really work out the way I wanted to. But I'm using this piece sort of as like a practice on mending piece, and I'm gonna leave that one at that. I think mending is a skill that I don't necessarily currently have, so I'm gonna let time be the teacher. And then my buttons fell off, so I just reattached the buttons with thread because they said to use yarn to tie in all the buttons, but I know thread in this case is better for me, and it feels tighter, more secure. I'm happy with it, how this like all turned out. And then I'm gifting my best friend my Zweig by Caitlin Hunter, and I love it. I love it so much. There was a lot of mending that had to be done in this area. I think it's just because when I was learning how to do colorwork, this is my first colorwork sweater, there were just like drop stitches that I found, and so I don't have this yarn anymore, like the millie. I don't have the yarn anymore. I'm learning that I do need to keep yarn for mending. Now that I've had some projects for like over 10 years, it's just time to keep extra yarn for mending. I did have to use some needle and thread and just go at it and secure stitches. So I didn't want anything to unravel. I still wanted her to be able to throw this in the wash. But so this is my Zweig, and those are all my mended pieces. So now I'm gonna show you the progress of all the things that are on needles. So I need to start with my husband's sweater. I'm working on the Marshland sweater by Tin Can Knits for him. And my hope now, I was hoping to get this done by this weekend, but you know, life is lifing, and it's like the busiest time of the year for a lot of us. And so I'm giving myself grace, and it's not done yet, but we're almost at the end of the body. Can you like see? You can't even see it all. I have a short torso, so I keep knitting this going like it's a dress. It's a dress. But I really love the top. The top is, again, this is what I'm talking about with my color work. It's gotten a lot better. I still have some improvements to make. Like some of my stitches are so loose because I'm afraid of it being too tight and not having enough give. That's a fear of mine in color work knitting. So I feel like my gauges are a little bit different in the stockinette of the sweater versus the color work part of the sweater. Just the color work stockinette. But yeah, here it is. Here he is in all his glory. Maybe next week, by the time you see this, next week's episode, like next Tuesday, you're like, wow, she did it. Because that's really what I would like to happen, so that I'm not knitting this all the way up until Christmas Eve. Because I said this would be done by Christmas for him. Like, Santa is delivering this sweater whether he wants to or not. It's happening. So I don't care if I have to sleep less to get this done. It will get done. So I told you all how I really wanted to make stuff for my dance teacher and the girl I've been assisting with for dance class. I ordered yarn and the package came yesterday, and I was going out. We were doing a lot of fun snowy things, going out shopping, holiday markets, this and that. And by the time I got home and I opened up this package, I was like very confused because it said Malabrigo Rasta in my order, but that is not what I got. Yeah, so those are not done, but because those weren't done, and I really am at this point only knitting that sweater, it's too big for me to travel with at this point. Like I could travel with this, like today I have to go into the bagel store and I don't want to schlep that big of a sweater with me to sit there and knit for like 30 minutes. It's not like, it's just crazy at that point, and I have to start the color work on the bottom, like that's where I'm at. So I, in a panic yesterday, was like, okay, like what do I have? Like what skein of yarn is just ready? And this pile here is not, I have to resort this because I started going through a couple of my bins. I just had extra skeins of stuff. Like these have to get moved. These are gonna go with my like sock yarns. But I just have single skeins of a bunch of stuff right now. And also this is sport weight, it's not even a sock. But this pile over here is meant to be like hats and headbands and like single skein use things. So I found this skein of yarn that I bought probably like over a decade ago. No, maybe a decade ago. Maybe a little. Yeah, probably a decade ago. I believe the skein is from Brown Sheep Company in Nebraska. So about 10 years ago, I worked in this like in the northwest corner of Nebraska and did a summer stock there where we did 5 shows in rep, which really just means that you are running 5 shows at the same time. And these are not just like 1 hour long shows. These are 2.5 hour, 2 hour long shows. And you do like, in the morning you do Cinderella, and then at lunch you're doing Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, and the night you're doing Grease or All Shook Up, and then the schedule changes daily, but you're doing 5 shows at the same time. It is nuts. And there's really nothing there except for that theater. And you have to drive everywhere, at least 30 minutes to get to a city. Any city. Now I'm not talking about like a city like where, not like New York. I'm talking about like a town where there's stuff. Or also just like driving and it's like road. It's honestly, America is really cool. And one of the things about it that I love about being an actor is that you get to just see the world. And you get to see the country in a way that most people never get to see and experience and see lots of things. And because of that, like I got to see Mount Rushmore with my grandmother, and it was like the last trip that she made to come see something. Oh, that makes me emotional. But while I was up there, I had asked, I think, the board on the first night when we were doing introductions if there was any yarn shops nearby. But then somebody on the board told me that the Brown Sheep Company was based in Nebraska, and it was only like 35 minutes away or 45 minutes, something like, maybe it wasn't even an hour away from where we were. I don't even know. But anyway, I ended up going to the Brown Sheep Company, their like main hub. I guess not even a flagship, it's just like their factory where they make all the yarn and dye the yarn, and their like yarn facility. They do like yarn tours, I think. They might, but they probably don't do that anymore. Or I don't know, maybe they do. But they also have like a shop of their yarn plus like their seconds, which are just like skeins of yarn that like are maybe not as perfect as the others. And they're just cheaper. But they have so many good options, and I think this is where I bought this yarn. Anyway, it's a really long story to say that I didn't have the yarn I needed, and I just wanted to have a project on needles that I could just take with me that wasn't like 7 skeins of yarn, because I also just want to start knitting those Foxy socks. But it's so much yarn and so many skeins to carry, and I'm already doing color work, so I don't want to overload myself with too much color work right now. It's not my strong suit. Like texture work is where I thrive. So anyway, I chose a hat pattern to take with me, And I took this yarn from the Brown Sheep Company trip, which has just been sitting in my stash for like 10 years. Anyway, it looks so beautiful. Here's the yarn. This is how much I've left, and I only have this one skein. I feel like I've already used half of the skein on the ribbing. It folds, so I just have another inch of this to go before I start the actual pattern, which is really cool. I'll show you. It's called the October hat. It was a free pattern on Ravelry. Oh my god, it matches with what I'm wearing! I truly, honest to God, did not even realize that it matched what I was wearing. So this is the pattern. I really want to do a cable knit. This is the October hat by Sloan Rosenthal. I know a couple of Rosenthals. Also, happy Hanukkah to all who celebrate. We lit the menorah last night. So this is what I'm working on. Also, I really wanted to make the Hobbiton. This has been on my list. I talked about this Hobbiton so much. So I don't have quite the yarn that I need for the Hobbiton right now, so that's being placed on hold, and I don't think I'm gonna have it done and ready by Christmas. I think that the primary focus right now in my project world is to get stuff done for other people. This is my time of knitting for others. And so my husband's sweater is my number one, and then the headbands and hats for my dance instructor and my friend are second, and then it's everything else for me. Everything else at the end of that is like just for me. But I'm already starting to think like I should get a start and a jump start on holiday knitting for other people for next year, and think about gifts I want to make for people like in advance. I think it's like a form of love to knit for somebody, and I love seeing somebody's face when I give them something that I made and their eyes light up and they wear it all the time. It's just like a really great feeling. I have so many ideas for next year, so I'm very excited to go into 2026 with all these fun ideas. Primary focus this week is my husband's sweater. When I'm out and about getting this hat done, and then hopefully this yarn comes soon and I can get those done. I will knit the Hobbiton. I just won't be in a rush for it, and that's fine. And then I will start my mother-in-law sweater, and then I've got baby sweater to do. But that's looking into January, y'all. But I kind of really like these like weekly check-ins. I didn't know what I want to do for like Vlogmas Hanitica, and I like how it's all sort of turned out to be this sort of, here are the monthly goals and here's what I've accomplished. And I don't know if you guys like these videos, but I really enjoy making them, and I hope that shows. Yeah, you let me know if you want more of this in the new year. Also, I will change it up if you hate this format in the new year, but you're stuck with this until the end of the month. So and I'll do videos like that I've been doing, the knitting review videos, because I really like the idea of being able to talk to you all not one-on-one, but it feels like one-on-one when I'm making these videos of like, here are the things that I knitted, but also like, here's what I liked about them, here are the things I struggled with. And I think that's important to communicate, because knitting is sort of a solo sport, and so how are you gonna know where the trip-ups might happen? If nobody tells you, how are you gonna know? And I'm just not a gatekeeping girl boss, gatekeep, I don't know, whatever that joke is. I just don't believe in gatekeeping like in any facet of my life. Having struggles within a pattern are not like necessarily a reflection of the pattern itself. I just really enjoy making those videos also. And those videos are what got me back into the YouTube world, because I needed the break that I needed, and I'm just really glad that I listened to my heart and my soul, and I was like, come back to this format. Yeah, it's felt really genuine and meaningful, and it has brought me a lot of joy, and I hope that it brings you a little joy. And I hope if anything, it makes you feel like not alone in like the chaos of life, because I am like chaos and joy and peace and all the things, because we're all human beings, so we all have so many facets to us. Anyway, this is a long rant. I'm excited that I got to try out this like vlogging format, and you get to see a little bit of what my life looks like throughout the week, and maybe not all of it, because I'm still a private person as much as possible. but I love sharing because I really am proud of the work I've done on myself and the work that I continue to do on myself, and just sharing like the good vibes. Anyway, so we have accomplished the alpine bloom, the mending of the sweaters, the sweatshirts for my parents, and the socks, my brother-in-law's socks. So that's all we have. So that's it for today. And if you enjoyed this episode, please hit that subscribe, like, comment. All the things you can do to interact with this are really helpful to get this moving. I have some big goals and dreams for 2026. So with that being said, happy Hanukkah to all who celebrate. And I can't wait to see you for the next week of Vlogmas Hanukkah. Yay! Okay. Bye!